we have Curt Shoultz from Brandon University, who is the director for Center for Teaching and Learning, and he's leading by example at his school by guiding his students to use AI responsibly, ethically, and guiding his instructors, guiding his colleagues as well with sharing his best practices. So, Curt, thank you so much for joining us for this webinar and sharing your time with us.
The transparency has been the biggest issue for all of the faculty that I've spoken to. They're not sure about it. And then the students that I speak to are feeling a little bit paranoid because they're afraid that if they do a good essay and turn it in, it's going to seem like it's AI. Keeping up with the pace of AI. I feel like I'm beginning to catch up with that because, I mean, it's amazing, but it also is a device that actually helps us to learn how to use it. So once I change my mind around that, I'm feeling like it's helping me to keep pace with what it's doing. Information overload, yes, absolutely, in every way. But in a way, I've begun to use AI to help me sift and filter some of the many things that I have. I still have to make my own value judgments, but I've found it more useful. It does give us the chance to do detailed breakdown of content, right? We can see with VisibleAI all of the prompts used. We can see their process. I know there was some sort of improvised systems about a year ago, and I could see how they worked, but I was never going to undertake the work of making that happen. So VisibleAI cuts out a number of steps that way to see the revision history. Students need to disclose if they're using AI, and that's in the various levels we've got at our sort of everybody takes their own policy is you can choose one of the 5 different levels, but make sure that the students are disclosing and the way they disclose and provide examples for them. Always attributing, I mean, science is built on public examination of knowledge, public testing. So we want to get them into that mode anyway. So VisibleAI, we should disclose it all the time. We're good humans. We can do emotional nuance. We can look at value judgments, and AI cannot do it. It has no clue as to what a good value judgment is, except if you train it on some other things. And even then, values are so fluid and so interesting and complex. It's not something I would leave to a machine. And of course, the stereotypes, right? It's trained on what exists, and what exists is filled with stereotypes, gender stereotypes, racial stereotypes, cultural stereotypes. Encourage fact-checking, require fact-checking. I tell them, look, you are responsible for this. Your name's on this. AI is never gonna feel the pain of a bad grade. You are responsible for this. You're submitting it. It won't do to blame AI later on. You need to check everything that it's given you. So, British University of Vietnam, Mike Perkins has done a lot of work on this, and I was at a webinar about 2 weeks ago where he had developed a really great sort of gradiated gradient from no AI to full exploration of AI. So here you can see a lot of middle section things, right? Acceptable use is to brainstorm ideas, to summarize, to explain errors, guidance, or to clean data sets. And the unethical would be copying and submitting, using AI to fabricate, submitting AI generated code for a programming assignment without doing that, using AI to complete an exam, or using it to fabricate or manipulate data. I hope we would know that those aren't, but we should be explicit about some of those things, especially with early years students. Here's a starting point. And yes, it's AI generated. It's got some nice things. It's nicely typed. It's got no spelling errors, but it might have some factually incorrect things. It might have things with which you disagree. So I'm going to ask you to track changes and rewrite this thing. See what you can add to it. How can you make this more personal? And as they're writing, they're going to see the words that it uses over and over again. It uses some words that we don't tend to use as human beings, but it also has a vagueness to it that that a good human being is going to eradicate by making it more personal. And then certainly at this stage in the next few years, I'll always be asking for a reflection on what they learned, what they picked up. At the very least, it gives the student the chance to break the blank page, right? Because that is scary for a number of students. Oh, I got this blank, I don't know where to start. And you could say, okay, give me a starting paragraph. And then the student could respond to that. I think could do that too. But I'm open to people who want to try it for enhancing creativity. I'm personally not willing to go there yet, but maybe someday.